Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.06%, Dow futures up 0.11%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.01%. A common theme moving into this week is a fear that the pandemic is delaying economic reopening and creating supply chain bottlenecks. We see it through Chinese exports and imports having grown faster than estimated in August. And this comes after that port had closed earlier in the summer, causing lower numbers in June and July. Well, come August, the port's been reopened and the numbers have moved higher. We also see this through weak U.S. jobs data report that came out last Friday, which bolstered bets that the Fed Reserve will delay its stimulus tapering. Investors are still edgy over the prospects for a growth slowdown and tapering of support outside the U.S., particularly for Europe. Both the dollar and treasury yields rose. The 10-year rate has moved 4 basis points higher. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index turned lower, with traders focused on the ECB's Thursday meeting, where the central bank will decide if it will dial down emergency stimulus. Over in Asia, Japan's Nikkei has moved higher following boosts from an index reshuffle and optimism that with a new prime minister will come new and better policies. And Chinese stocks advanced amid renewed demand for technology shares and the surprise trade data. The nation's equities listed in U.S. markets are pushing higher as well, with Alibaba up 2.6% this morning and Baidu up 3.4%. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
What am I seeing? I'm seeing the S&Ps up 0.06%. That's nice. They were up early this morning, then they did a reversal and were trading lower, and now they pushed back. So that's positive. My issue today is really for the week, that the economic calendar is very light this week. I also look at earnings. Earnings reports are, schedule that are coming out. That schedule is light as well. So I'm always looking for a catalyst event. What's going to cause this market to move higher? It's kind of slow this week, so I'm a little bit concerned. My guard is up. I feel that the market could start pricing in signs of a slowing economy this week. I note that Goldman came out this morning and they lowered their growth forecast for the U.S. for this year. I see Morgan Stanley downgraded Amgen, Johnson & Johnson, and Merck. Now, they downgraded not to management or anything they're doing at these companies. They downgraded the stock mainly because they feel that the risk-reward factor is more beneficial in other sectors. On the positive side, you had that export data out of China. They came in much stronger. As you mentioned, we also have that ECB meeting coming out this week. So those are, two events that could create volatility for the market. I see earnings coming out: Coupa Software, Casey Stores, Korn Ferry, Luminar, ticker RH, which is the former Restoration Hardware, Oracle, Lululemon, GameStop, National Beverage, Lovesac, Lakeland Industries, and American Outdoor are all reporting earnings this week. So we've got a number of companies that we do watch for unusual activity in. But that's what I'm seeing this morning, Shane.
Let's get into earnings to watch. Bill, tell us what we've seen come in so far.
Let's start with Coupa Software. This is one I was watching because I really like what they were doing. And, Coupa Software really did deliver. They came in with a 26-cent beat, and they did it on higher revenue. You look at the stock, it's trading a little up this morning. I think it can go further. So, yeah, Coupa Software had a nice little run this morning. But that was really it. I don't see many other companies releasing earnings this morning, Shane.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Let's talk about it. We have Casey Stores this afternoon. That's ticker CASY. Their EPS estimate is $2.92, and the expected move here is 5.35%. Wednesday, Korn Ferry, ticker KFY, Kilo Frank Yellow. They're going to be releasing in the morning. The EPS estimate is $1.07. The expected move there is 7.83%. Ticker LMNR. Larry, Michael, Nancy, Richard. This is Luminary stock. Its EPS is 17 cents and the expected move is 9.54%. Ticker RH, which is RH.com. Their EPS estimate is $6.44 and the expected move there is 9.39%. Oracle, they're releasing Wednesday afternoon. EPS estimate is 92 cents. Expected move there is 6.03%. Wouldn't be surprised to see Oracle move higher into earnings, and even if they beat, the stock just kind of goes stagnant, doesn't do anything, even after positive earnings may be announced. Lululemon, ticker LULU, they're releasing Wednesday afternoon. The EPS estimate is $1.18, and the expected move there is 5.98%. So there's a number of good companies releasing earnings this week, but that ticker LMNR, I simply am very cautious there because on 8/24, these guys reported their Q3 EPS of 18 of their Q3 expected EPS, which they feel is going to come in between 18 cents to 24 cents. Now the estimates were at 39 cents. CEO is mentioning logistical delays. Q3 revenue does look higher, but that EPS being negative, I don't see how ticker LMNR is going to, deliver a positive spin when they release earnings tomorrow afternoon. But that's just to see what I'm seeing on the street this morning, Shane.
Well, moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with some acquisition news. State Street, ticker STT, is set to buy the investor services business of Brown Brothers, Harriman & Co., ticker BBH, for $3.5 billion cash. Invitae, ticker NVTA, is set to buy Citizen, a patient-centric consumer health tech company, for $325 million. And Enbridge, ticker ENB, has set to acquire EnCap Flatrock Midstream's Moda Midstream Operating for $3 billion. And lastly, PIMCO is acquiring Columbia Property, ticker CXP, for $3.9 billion. Elsewhere on the tape, Red Hill Biopharma, ticker RDHL, announced results from a new preclinical study that showed that the treatment for renal fibrosis, particularly as a resulting symptom of COVID-19, significantly decreased fibrosis in treated patients. The Red Hill share price is up 3.27% in pre-market. News on Tesla, ticker TSLA, is set to secure a $1.35 billion German government subsidy to support the company's battery cell production operations in Grünheide. The funding has been agreed and is ready for approval from a 2.9 billion euro state program. Tesla's share price is up 0.39% in pre-market. Elsewhere on the tape, Merck, ticker MRK. Merck's Keytruda has been approved in China in combination with chemotherapy for first-line treatment of GEJ cancer. News on Avantor, ticker AVTR. The company is set to acquire the Masterflex bioprocessing business from Antilia Scientific for $2.9 billion. Elsewhere in news, C, ticker SE, is reportedly preparing to launch its e-commerce site Shopee in Poland, marking the company's expansion into the European market. Shopee is currently recruiting sellers for its Polish launch while simultaneously preparing to launch in India. Here's an interesting one. Match Group, ticker MTCH, the makers of the dating app Tinder, are set to open 13% higher today after announcing their plan to be added to the S&P 500 on September 20th. The company will be replacing the drug maker Perrigo, ticker PRGO. News on Volta, ticker VLTA. Volta is partnering with Six Flags, ticker SIX, to make EV charging accessible to its guests at their parks across the U.S. And lastly for me, Toyota Motor, ticker TM, said that through an integrated development of vehicles and batteries, the company targets to reduce the battery cost per vehicle by 50% compared to the Toyota BZ4X in the second half of 2020. It also aims to achieve a per vehicle cost of 50% or less compared to now. Toyota anticipates the amount of investment in the development of a battery supply system and research and development to be approximately 1.5 trillion yen by 2030. Toyota's share price is up 1.19% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking at, oil and gas. I'm looking at aluminum, what have you. I'm also looking at, specific events, whether they be earnings, buybacks, dividend announcements, you name it. It just gives me the ability to jump on these stocks before the market starts to price in a major move. I'm looking this morning, start off with my FANG sector. Apple, the App Store has been a significant source of revenue for Apple, and everybody knows it. But the current climate seems to appear that Apple is going to have to start competing for listings business, and that, or their revenue model of taking 30% off the top is going to change. So that's not positive news for Apple. Amazon, I see media reports this morning indicating that Amazon really is focused, and they are planning on a possible October rollout of its own branded TV. So this way it would just be another, TV, not a TV station, but a streaming service. Apple, another story on Apple that I saw this morning, the Apple Watch Series 7, which is going to be announced alongside the new iPhone. There seems to be production issues here that may cause the new models to ship later or, in limited quantities. That's not another positive news story for Apple. In terms of my Dow Jones 30 alert, one thing I noticed was 3M, ticker MMM, Michael. They're going to be having their annual shareholders meeting on Monday, September 30th. That's 6 days away. Boeing, ticker BA, Boy Apple. Ryanair ended talks to purchase 10 new aircraft from Boeing. And the reason why is because they wanted additional discounts. They wanted Boeing to bend. Boeing didn't. And I know this is looking as a negative, but I actually think this could actually be positive because, if the environment was really weak, Boeing would have bent. They didn't. That kind of tells me that something positive might be going on in terms of other deals for, airline prices, for airplane prices in the near future. Amgen, this is one that sort of kind of bothered me. Morgan Stanley came out and they issued downgrades on Amgen, on Johnson & Johnson and Merck this morning. It's a key sector, and for them to downgrade 3 Dow stocks that are in this sector is significant. But when you actually read the report, it's really indicating that they just feel that there's better risk reward opportunities elsewhere. Yes, these stocks are a little pricey, not Merck so much, but Johnson & Johnson and Amgen definitely are. So, I just give them time. There might be some weakness there which could be an opportunity. I don't think that, Morgan Stanley is really always a little bit early on their calls. In terms of the option market, the natural resource stocks, this is where the action is today. Aluminum's hitting a decade high. There was a coup over the weekend in a mineral country, which is causing these prices to move higher. So I'm taking a quick look at some of these natural resources stocks. Alcoa, ticker AA, Apple, 30-day option implied volatilities at 52. 52-week range here is 50 to 74. U.S. Steel, that's ticker X as an X-ray, 30-day option implied volatilities at 57. 52-week range is 55 to 108. Freeport McMoran, that's ticker FCX, Frank Charlie X-ray, 30-day option implied volatility is 41. 52-week range here is 41 to 64. So you can see these are all low vol stocks. Going into, other news that I see hitting the tape, I have a buyback section alert, and this morning it hit on State Street. Shane, you mentioned it. These guys, State Street has agreed to buy out Brown Brothers, the investor services business, for $3.5 billion in cash. How are they going to fund this buyout, really is the question. State Street said that it expects to fund the transaction primarily through the issuances of common equity. They're going to be suspending the common share repurchases before resuming them in the second quarter of next year, and on cash on hand. That's a good way to finance this deal. I like it. STT it made a good acquisition in Brown Brothers investor services business. But that's what I see on news on the tape this morning, Shane.
Let's talk about our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking one I spoke about, Match Group, ticker MTCH. This is definitely one we need to wait for some morning weakness on. They're up close to 13%. They're up quite a bit higher this morning, just off of news, about the move they're making to the S&P 500. It is good momentum news. I like it, and I see this being something that can give us positive gain this morning, but we got to wait for this one to drop down. I don't think it can support the type of gains it's gotten pre-market. And when we do see it take a drop, I do think it's a good thing for us to get into. and to see some gains coming into the end of the day. So that's my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Going with Casey Stores. It's ticker CASY, Charlie Apple Sam Yellow, Casey General Stores. I'm expecting a positive earnings report from Casey Stores this afternoon. Last quarter, these guys beat by 24 cents. Right now, the stock is priced for a move of 5.35%. You look at what the CEO said in last quarter's earnings release. We have great momentum behind our digital engagement efforts. Our private brand products have resonated with our guests. Our prepared foods business is regaining traction, and we are in the process of welcoming 2 large acquisitions to the Casey family. He went on to say we are now poised to emerge from the pandemic an even stronger company. So yeah, this was good. I look at the option volumes as well. They were positive on Friday. I'm going to be watching those option volumes today to see if there's any change. Because they were a little light, but they still provided a solid reading, indicating that there should be, a beat on these earnings coming up. So my pick today is Casey General Stores at ticker CASY, Charlie Apple Sam Yellow.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press, the news that's hitting the tape as we speak. Let's get into it. Bill, what are some headlines we should let traders know about?
Connect, that's ticker GCI, Grace Charlie India. They announced that the USA Today network is launching USA Today sports premium subscription products. This could be very interesting for them. We'll see what happens with GCI today. FTDR, Frank, Tom, David, Richard. This is Front Door Incorporated. They announced a 3-year, 400 million share buyback.
Global Blood Therapeutics, ticker GBT, announced the FDA acceptance for its treatment for sickle disease in children 4 to 11 years old. Mantech, ticker AMT, has bagged a $476 million contract to provide systems engineering solutions for Space and Missile Center.
See that a minor broker came out with a street high $780 price target on Netflix. $780. Wow. Let's talk out there that Boeing reportedly is facing delays in delivering 787 Dreamliner.
Cisco Gold, ticker OR, is doing a 1.3 million share repurchase.
Cisco's having their analyst day on September 15th.
Hyzon Motors, ticker HYZN, announced Zero Avia placed an order for its fuel cells. There's one on Hyundai Motor, ticker HYMTF. They are introducing a next generation fuel cell system. It looks like they're going to be the first automaker to apply fuel cell systems to all commercial vehicles by 2028.
It's one on JP Morgan, ticker JPM. Howard University names JP Morgan as primary bank.
Zooplus is in talks with KKR, ticker KKR, regarding a potential voluntary public takeover.
Tesla, their full self-driving beta software has been leaked. McKesson, ticker MCK, just came out with an 8K.
Transmedics, ticker TMDX, has received FDA approval for its OCS heart system. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing, Jane.
Same here. So that's what's hot off the press. Traders, if you're looking to up your trading game, you can definitely start by getting the same stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out and get that free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Friday. I had DD Global, ticker DIDI. It opened at $9.11, and within 20 minutes of the market open, had hit its peak at $9.53 for a 4.61% gain. However, the gains quickly went down by 11 a.m., and shares were back to flat. And beyond that, shares moved a little bit lower, close to $9.02 at the end. You really only had till about 10:30 a.m. Friday to see some gains. But the positive side is that the stock is back up another 2% this morning to $9.20 in pre-market today. So, I have a feeling it's going to keep going up. He's in a good position to start making some gains and continuously. But, overall, there was some gains we made. So not too bad. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did good on Friday. I had 2 picks, which is highly unusual for me. Visa just hit the tape, and I saw it, and I remembered that on Thursday the stock sold off hard because the story with Amazon. But Morgan Stanley came out as we were broadcasting and talking about how this is not going to be a major factor at all for Visa. So One of my picks was Visa. Now, Visa opened up at $224, and they hit a high of $227.30. That's a positive move of 1.47%. The stock closed at $225.11, which still is a 0.5% higher than the opening price. As I said, this was just one hitting the tape. I knew it was going to move the stock price, so I threw it in there on Friday. My other pick that I did some research on was Five Below. That's ticker FIVE, Frank India Victor Edward. Now, I had a good feeling based on my research that, Five Below was going to, miss numbers. And I actually gave a number of clients this short idea ahead of earnings. But I just felt it went too far. I mean, it went from 218 to 194 to 185. Yes, the revenue was light, but the EPS was a beat. I saw the broker comments, I reread the earnings report, and I just felt it was just due for a relief run. So on Friday, you saw Five Below open up at $186.20. $186.20. It hit a high of $194 on Friday. That's a 4.19% gain. It closed on the day at $193.40, which is a gain of 3.87%. So yeah, Five Below was a real winner. It was a real good one. And I was proud of both those picks on Friday, Shane.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.